So we are now going to introduce, I've known Srimati Syamala Didi for many years. I've never seen her not smiling, actually. Maybe only on this occasion just prior to doing Pushpanjali because she's nervous, maybe not smiling, but she'll be smiling at the end. We have such a lot of experience today. Between the first, second, and fourth speakers, we have something, I don't want to make anyone feel old, but I want to make you feel wise. Something like 150 years of the devotional experience between the three of you. Quite extraordinary. Syamala took Harinam and Diksha in Iskon in 1986, but on the 22nd of January 1992 in Keshavaji, Gaudiya Mat, she took Harinam and Diksha from Gurudeva, so one of the very early non-Indian disciples. And Gurudev ordered her to preach everywhere, and she managed the LA temple from 05 to 07, 2005 to 07, has preached in Brazil and in Bolivia, in Houston, and was ordered by Gurudev to do bhajan in Vrindavan. So I'm very honored and very excited to present to you Srimati Syamala Didi. Welcome, Didi. Have a beautiful Pushpanjali. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Devananam Bande Vrindavan Nivasinam Ananta Guna Bhushita Koti Vatsalya Rupinam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Siva Bhaktivinda Panchaka Patrabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavibhyo Namo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before I begin, I want to offer my unlimited, fallen, humble obeisances to my most beloved Divine Holy Master, Asmadya Paramaritam, Guru Patma, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Narayana Gosvami Maharaj, and to my, equally to my Shiksha Guru, Srimati Krishna Priya Thakurani, and to Pujapad Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, and all Rupanuga Parampara, all Guru, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So how can a fallen conditioned soul like me even touch the glories of a transcendentalist like Gurudev, who is none other than Raman Manjari, very near and dear servant of Srimati Radhika, who's come to collect our hearts? I won't even attempt to, but I can simply remember how he's touched me and my little experiences with him that are unforgettable. So first, how Gurudev came to me was through Kirtan. I was in the San Francisco temple and cleaning and found a cassette, a blank, unlabeled cassette. And this voice, his moods completely, how can I say, completely captured my heart. I just thought, whoever this is, I have to meet him. I was unfortunate. I missed Srila Prabhupada. I missed Srila Maharaj. I never met them in person. But who this Vaishnava is, I must meet. So for the next 2 years after hearing that, in 1989, I think it was the whole thing on my mind was constantly how to meet. Then after that, somehow his Harikatha came into my hands. First Braj Mandal Prikrama, then one book after another, unpublished manuscripts, like Nectar Govinda Leela, that time not published yet, by Prem Vilas Guru, and Going Beyond Vaikuntha and Bhakti Rasayan, and there was just complete nectar that we would read every night amongst friends for the next couple of years, thinking how to come to Vrindavan to meet Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. Somebody finally told me, yes, that's Prankishore Prabhu. Tirthapad Prabhu's good friend said, yes, that's Srila Narayana Maharaj. I've been listening to him every time I do Shringar of Radha Govinda in the New York temple. And He's Prabhupada's very good friend who put Srila Prabhupada in Samadhi. So then finally, by Krishna's arrangement, in January 1992, I met Gurudev in Keshavji Gaudiya Math. And on that same first darshan, he said, come and meet me. You should meet me tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was a very bitterly cold winter, and I'm not used to auto rickshaws. I had a Janava who was 8.5 months old at that time. I'm thinking, what shall I do? I'm staying in Vrindavan. From Vrindavan to Mathura at 7:30 in the morning, very cold fog. So what all this raced through my mind, and what came out was, shall I bring something? He said, yes. Bring your heart on a golden plate, and I'll offer it to Srimati Radhika. So he gave me Harinama Diksha, and it was so intimate actually. Just myself, Tirthapat Prabhu, and Janava in the room with Tulsi Devi in his room at Keshavji Gaudiya Math, like maybe 45-50 minutes long. So many details. And right from the beginning, he said, always, never, never have material identification, no other designation. Always think that my Gurudev is a very beautiful gopi, and that I am servant of Srimati Radhika and Krishna. Always from beginning, always that I'm teenage-aged. I won't go into more because it's not protocol to speak about Diksha, but so many instructions for chanting and everything. One thing I will say is that Gurudev said that he's given everything. Now he has given everything. Because in the Harinam Maha Mantra, he's given everything, but also in the Diksha mantras. Because Guru mantra is Gurudev's, we're offering our whole heart to Gurudev and saying, now Gurudev, I'm yours, I'll do as you order. And Guru Gayatri is no different from Guru Manjari. And we're praying to Guru Manjari to manifest herself in our heart and her seva and love for Srimati Radhika and Krishna. And Gaur Mantra, non-different from Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gopal Mantra and Gayatri Mantra, non-different from Srimati Radhika and Krishna. So there he has given us everything for which you can never, ever repay. And he said, you can never repay me in millions of births, but we should try. And how can we try? Just completely follow, completely give our heart, completely follow, and distribute this wealth that he has given everywhere. So I asked Gurudev, may I stay some time with you here? And he said, yes, you may stay 1 to 3 days. But Prema Prabhu in charge of the month said, oh, that means 2 to 3 months, 1 to 3 months. So we stayed 3 months in the month actually. And it was at that time, 35 brahmacharis, very sweet, intimate family mood. Gurudev would take prasad, before Aarti, after Aarti, every day, we would all go to Gurudev's room and do pranam to him. And at least Mangal Aarti every day to all the residents of the Math, all Vaishnavas, begging for forgiveness for any offenses, known or unknown, and begging for blessings to do bhajan. So many wonderful instructions and training for how to properly follow this path and do the Trinad Apisunichena Bhajan Pranali was given in the month by example and also some words here and there. And then Gurudev would, after his morning massage and his bath, and he would take prasad in his room. Then he would come out and check on everybody. We were all sitting around the mat in the courtyard there, and that everybody's okay. If anybody needs more, it was very, very, very personal that time. And his door was always open. We could just go in anytime, just for darshan. Any questions, anything. It was a very special time that, couldn't be replicated later when Gurudev had many more disciples. So, so on my first parikrama with Gurudev, it wasn't an official Kartik parikrama, but it's just a small one before Gurudev went to Navadvip in Jagannath Puri for Gopunim parikrama. Gopunim, yeah, Gomandal parikrama. So it was in February 1992. It was just a tiny little minibus of about 30 people, and Gurudev in a tiny little car in front. And we went there on that parikrama, and everyone, because I knew to Gaudiya, I had come from ISKCON background, and so Gurudev, from the very beginning, he stressed, he wanted to dispel the Aishwarya mood, of Vaidhi Bhakti. So at every place, everyone tumbles out of the bus, and I'm following the example, do pranam to the Das, and then go to Gurudev and do pranam near his feet. And Gurudev stood very tall and said, in Braj, to me, he said to me, in Braj, there's no pranam. And of course, at that time, I had no idea what he's talking about. But slowly, 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 by his mercy, realizations came. And by hearing his Harikatha, and from discussions with Vaishnavas, I can understand that, yes, if we have a mood of Aishwarya, we can never enter Braj. We can never enter Braj, because in Braj, Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everybody just loves Krishna with their whole heart and soul. They can do anything for Krishna, but he's not God. So he wanted to make that very clear from the beginning. So this is not necessarily in order. I'm trying to keep it in order, but if you don't, forgive me if I jump here and there. It's not in chronological order. But in the mat, we're seeing brahmacharis serving Gurudev so intimately. And I was thinking to myself, without saying anything to Gurudev, thinking, oh, I'm so unlucky. I'm in this body. I can never serve like the brahmacharis, intimately like this, be with him everywhere, all services that they do for him. Gurudev immediately said out loud to me, don't be male, or next life you will suffer. Even I want to be female. And then he fulfilled my desire for Vishamba Bhav. He gave so many opportunities to serve him intimately. In fact, he told me, I want you to go everywhere with me. He ordered me twice. I want you to go everywhere with me. And that was after one day. That's another thing. Gurudev is very indirect. He's very fond of indirect speech. He said in Braj, speech is indirect. Indirect is sweeter. They never call Krishna by name. He's Shyam Sundar, that darkish, beautiful one, beautiful darkish one. So he was saying to me one day, to fulfill my desire to be brahmachari, he said to me one day, without looking at me and into the air, with his back turned away from me, turned to go up, he said, and if anyone, this is on Dwadasi, when all brahmacharis from the Keshavji Gaudiya Math go on bhiksha, except the ones who have to do service in the math, they all go out on bhiksha everywhere, and the math subsists on bhiksha twice a month on Dwadashi days. He said, and if anyone, in English, he said, if anyone in the math vicinity does not go out on bhiksha today, he will not take Mahaprasad. And my heart was pounding. Oh my God, Gurudev wants me to go on bhiksha. But I'm a foreigner. I don't know the language. And how will they believe me that I'm coming to do bhiksha on behalf of Gurudev? And where do I start? All the brahmacharis have definite routes where to go. And as I'm rushing out of the mat, incomplete, and Gurudev walked off without looking at me, without saying anything. That's how indirect he is. You know, take the cue and follow it, or anyway. So I running out of the mat at the gate. I'm just thinking, "Oh, Krishna, save me, help me. How can I follow this order? I have no idea how to do it." Then Syamala came to my rescue and she said, I said, Syamala, please help me. Gurudev wants me to go on bhiksha. She said, bhiksha? Oh, bhiksha? Okay, I will help you, don't worry. So then she told me to collect 3 cotton bags. I won't go into details. We went out together. She took me where to go, behind the mat. We came back an hour and a half later with 3 bags full of, 1 bag of atta and sabji and rice and, like 36 rupees. Anyway, sitting in Gurudev's room, Gurudev said he's busy writing at that time. So there are a few other guests. Nobody disturbed me. We waited patiently till he gave us his audience, his attention. And then he picked up a registry book from his side there. With his pen in hand, he said, "What's her name?" And I said, "Gurudev, you don't remember my name?" He said, "Sometimes I don't remember my own name. Sometimes I don't remember Madhav Maharaj's name. Sometimes I don't remember my own name. I'm only remembering his name." Then somebody said Syamala. He wrote down Syamala in his registry of what brahmacharis bring back. I had no idea such a thing existed. So then he told me to estimate how much atta was there, how many rupees counted. He wrote down 5 kilo atta, 36 rupees. I was dismissed. He said, "Bring it to Premanandpur." That afternoon, an hour before his class at 6 o'clock every evening, he was giving darshan. His room was packed as usual, and there no way to get near him in front of his bed. It was just mob there. So I went round the back door and came to the foot of the bed at the other end of his bed and just stood there and watched and waited. Then suddenly, out of the blue, he just stretched his body close up to me, his face, right up to almost where I am, and said, "And I want you to go everywhere with me." And as he said that, the whole room and Gurudev completely blanked out. It was just this bright, beautiful, golden, incredibly brilliant light. So 2 days later, I was going everywhere with Gurudev. We're on the world ticket. So somehow, I don't know how, money came, this and that, just barely. But Gurudev just arranged everything. Somehow Krishna sent. So one of the places, everywhere we go, Gurudev, he said, Krishna is the greatest thief. But Gurudev is an even bigger thief. He can steal everyone's heart. Why? He's Trikalagya. He's the personification of the affection of millions of mothers and fathers. He knows what's in the hearts and minds of everyone. And can go right in there and just say exactly the thing to just steal your heart. So everywhere I went, I saw that he did that. With people, all kinds of people, all levels, all classes, all different nations. That's Gurudev said, I have come to collect flowers, hearts. I have come to collect hearts, flowers for Srimati Radhika and Krishna. So one time on a travel in Costa Rica, and after a beautiful darshan, oh, how much time do I have, by the way?
You have 11 minutes.
11 minutes. Okay, I'll try to make it short. So he said, everyone touch his feet. He's very generous and allows everyone to do that. And then when I came up at the end to touch his feet, he said, don't touch my feet. Touch my heart. My heart sank when he said, don't touch my feet. Oh my, everyone, except me, I'm too contaminated. But then he said, touch my heart. And I had to let that sink in very deep to understand that, yes, he's a transcendentalist. If you touch him, something is there. But to really get mercy, we have to melt his heart by our mood, by our service, by how we've given ourselves completely. So Gurudev would always say, jumping a bit here and there, but he said, do everything from the core of your heart. Your Dandavat Pranam, do from the core of your heart. Why? It's not a material physical exercise. It's from the core of the heart, means swaha, namaha. Namaha means I offer myself, and from the core of my soul. So always Gurudev stress everywhere to me, always from the beginning, here and there, always come from the heart. Always to forget material identification, to remember that one time he said, how old are you? Very unexpectedly, I was taken by great surprise. I had no answer. He said, oh, you are teenage-aged. Little reminders like this always, that the soul is a teenager. And also for me, I understood, don't become old, don't become useless for seva. Always identify with the soul, which is teenagers, and always ready to serve. Never too tired, never too anything, and sleeping minimum. This is in the Manjari Bhav. Always, always reminding everywhere. So many signs. He would train me, I felt, in different, by a look, by a glance, by a word, by a sentence, just to know what to do, if I can pick up on it and understand what he wants to say with no words. He said, my Gurudev never had to tell me what to do. And I thought, but that is so high, Gurudev. Means I have to become tadatmik with you, but that's what he wants. If you give your heart, then you become tadatmik with Gurudev. So from the beginning, always the highest level of instructions. One time in Florida, 1998, he was saying to me, he called me and said, what are your plans now? So how many more minutes have you shut on? 7? Okay.
You have got 7, yeah.
7 minutes? What are your plans now? And I said, I don't know, Gurudev, they keep getting smashed. He said, very good. Yes. And you have katas? Ching, 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 bas. And that was it. That was dismissed. And we all know his kata about the 3 claps, be like Srivas Thakur. Has firm conviction this life is only for doing bhajan, preach, and don't make any endeavor for your maintenance or your family's maintenance. By doing bhajan and preaching, everything will come. Okay, jumping really quickly. He said one time, he said, even Krishna is afraid of me. He can never, he can never control me because I'm under the control of Srimati Radhika. Radhika is so powerful. If Krishna will be angry with me, I will say, why are you angry? You should not be angry. My Swamini is Radhika, you know? Then Krishna will say, oh, your Swamini is Radhika. Then namaskar to you. This is Gurudev's sweet, how should I say, boldness. Always I'm in the camp of Srimati Radhika, and Srimati Radhika is completely, Prema Guru of Krishna and completely controls Krishna. So very quickly he said in Badger, once he said, my Harikatha may evaporate into the ether, the atmosphere of the ether, but my books will remain and be read for the next 2,000 years. That's a very important order for us. And I think the Audio Saver team, GVP, and so many others, PureBhakti, everyone who's serving is doing such a nice job of that. Oh, also that they have, scanned Gurudev's library, because he said one day, books can maybe eaten by insects, and also computers may crash. So everything should be in hard copy. So one more thing really quickly, stop sectarianism. He said that my mission is twofold: to help all those disciples of Swami Maharaj who had become weak after he left, and also to stop sectarianism and unite everyone in Mahaprabhu's movement. So Prabhupada, Gurudev, all are saying the same thing. We should all harmonize and work together and cooperate with love and affection. Lastly, he said, cry 2 tears for me, and every day in Vrindavan, I'll cry 2 tears for you. He said this to Gopanandini in New York airport, I remember. So separation is where it's at. If you want to control Gurudev and melt his heart, you have to cry for him. His heart is so soft that if you just one tear, and he just completely melts. He said we have to cry though in such a way that Krishna comes with his pitambara and wipes away the tears and says, don't cry. What do you want? Munin, nothing but Muninda Vinda Vandite Chiloka Shoka Harini Prasana Bhakta Pankajani Kunda Bhuvilasini Bhajendra Bhanu Nandini Bhajendra Sunu Sangate Kadakarisha Sihama Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. And so I'd like to end here very quickly because I'm not able to properly glorify Gurudev, but because I'm just a very conditioned soul, and but only a transcendentalist can do so. So I would like to read to you the translation of the Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Astakam, written by the best of Gurudev's disciples, true Rupanugas who are doing Rupanuga Bhajan here in Vrindavan in Krishna Mandir Sevakunj. Devam Naranam Bande Vrindavan Nivasinam Ananta Guna Pushita Koti Vatsalya Rupinam. I offer obeisances to Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, who is supremely effulgent and who always resides in Sri Vrindavan Dham. He's decorated with unlimited qualities. He's the personified form of the affection of millions and millions of mothers and fathers. I won't read all the Sanskrit because I have no more time, but I'll just do the English translation. He chants the glories of his Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. His body is beautifully decorated with tears being shed and bodily hairs standing on end. Experiencing this, he feels unlimited bliss and tastes the ecstasy of his internal form. I offer obeisances to Shri Gurudev, who feels unlimited jubilation and laughs loudly when the group of Srimati Radhika defeats the group of Shri Krishna. Absorbed in bhav, he chants the glories of Srimati Radhika. He's perpetually immersed in tasting infinite bliss and relishing supreme happiness of her service within himself. He's always absorbed in the sentiment of Sri Rupa Goswami. He's counted amongst the best of the followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. He preached and practiced that which Sri Rupa Goswami came to this world to establish on behalf of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He manifested the books of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in all languages throughout the world. He blissfully distributed that loving devotional service which was given by Lord Gauranga. He's most expert in the mellows of Vrindavan. He's dearly beloved by the residents of Vrindavan. I offer respects to Gurudev, who is the opulence of Sri Vrindavan, and who is the universal teacher of the process of this age of Kali. He was crowned the title, the Yuga Acharya. This is the universal teacher of the process of the age of Kali by all the Brijavasis, all the prominent heads of Bashana, Nandagaon, Govardhan, all Braj. All worship, respect, and love him for his greatness. Oh, who is most dear to Radhika and a servant in the group of Lalita, O worshipful Sri Narayana Goswami, all your activities are ever victorious. With a faltering voice, I pray again and again to your lotus feet. In every moment and in every way, may my mind always think of your lotus feet. This Astakam was written by Srimati Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj and Srimati Krishna Priya Didi. So in this way, I like to end. They have captured Gurudev's glories, which I could not touch. Thank you, everybody. And forgive me for any mistakes I've made and my nervousness. All glories to Gurudev. I'm praying on this day to Gurudev and all Vaishnavas, everyone, our whole Sangha, please be merciful to me, that I can be a true disciple of Gurudev and really touch his heart. Thank you, everybody. Vanchakaputrapasya, Vipasindhuvyavacha, Patitanang Pavanevyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Syamala, Haribol, well, you touched my heart, and I didn't feel any nerves. I just felt sincerity, and something shifted within me when I was listening to you. Very beautiful.
Well, anything good is all from Gurudev's, and all the bad things is me. So.
Well, firstly, I felt that I was in Vrindavan because there were so many taxis going past and beeping. I felt like I was there.
Yes, yes. But you know, I hope that you can feel we're in Seva Kunj with the Guru Parampara right behind us. Did you see?
Yeah, okay. Beautiful. And in your Diksha ceremony, I felt I was like, the way you explained it, I felt I was there with you, with Gurudev in person.
Oh.
I loved how you said he wanted your heart on a golden plate, and how he was a bigger thief than...
You know, I want blessings to do that because I've yet to do that. Give over my whole heart because, while we're on that subject, because Gurudev said, don't think that you should hide things from me. I know everything. I see everything. So we try to hide our bad things and our ugly things and our dark things. But Gurudev wants us to offer all that. Because one time he said to me, I want you to give me your, your lust, your anger, whatever it was, into his uttariya. And he said, give it to me and I will put it in the Jamuna. It will be gone from you forever. So if we offer everything, he will give us everything.
He wasn't, he didn't expect us to be perfect. The whole point is we're in a hospital, we're ill, we need a doctor. And
Yeah.
what you said about in Braj, there are no pranams. And then later you said how, he said, don't touch my feet, touch my heart. Those two
Yeah.
statements were really linked, because I remember when I first went to India, everybody was jumping down 10 times a day, trying to give him the Dandavat pranams. And he was like, no, just do it once in the morning. That's enough, you know? He didn't want, he really was amazing like that. And your Pushpanjali really captured that mood. Usually I don't ask questions, but there are a couple of things you said that was so timely. I'm going to be a bit naughty and steal I'm not taking any time from anyone else. It will go on at the end, but I have to ask you.
For anybody's Krishna's time.
Yeah, I know I'm going against my own principle, but it was such a beautiful thing you said about, do you actually have a record of him saying, Gurudev saying about, he said there were two parts of his mission. One was to, I know he always said about Srila Prabhupada and nurturing his devotees, but the other about unity is very important, because sometimes I don't think we all realize how important unity and harmony and unity and diversity was so important to Gurudev. Do you know, is that recorded somewhere?
No, because he said it to me personally in his room in Mathura. He said my mission is twofold. And so, but you know, in the harmony book probably is there. It's all about harmonizing. But very clear, all our gurus wanted that whole parampara. Prabhupada said, if you love me, show it by how you cooperate with each other with love and trust.
Yeah. I think I have more questions, but I think I'll do it in private afterwards, so I don't take too much time. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. My Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank
Beautiful.
You.
Thank you.
Pranams.
I think that moves over to me now. But I just want to say to Syamala Didi that when you were speaking, it felt like Srila Gurudev was speaking to me directly about so many things that I was waiting for an answer for. And today he gave me them answers through you. So I'm feeling really grateful for you coming on and speaking. A qualified disciple is able to be an instrument of Srila Gurudev. So thank you so much. And everything you spoke was just so beautiful. And I'm just very, very appreciative of that. So keep me under your association, and then I may grow perhaps a little bit.
Come to Raj, come to Vrindavan. No, I just want to say that no glories to, nothing is mine. Everything I've said, I've tried to repeat as I've heard from Gurudev, in that mood and the words as well. I try to capture as accurately as I can remember, and especially the mood, but the words too. And actually, Gurudev can come through anyone to instruct us. So not just qualified disciples, anyone, anyone.
I'm just grateful. I'm just very lucky to have such a wonderful family. So thank you so much, Didi.
Seriously, Didi. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.